Hey everyone, this is Mr. Everything, and I wanted to do an overview on this Vastfire. I guess we call it a tactical light. I mean, I'm not sure. Just an outdoors light. According to their listing, it's what? It's supposed to be 200,000 lumens. Usually, when it's a brand that's not like a name brand, I always ignore these like claims because it's usually not true. I mean, I would go by brightness. If it's bright and it's not incredibly expensive, it's usually worth it. So you can see some of the specs. For whatever reason, it's not available now. I have looked before, and I think before they would offer it with the coupon. If you can get it, like I think it would be like half off or something from whatever the list price was, it might be worth it then. But then you go right down here and it says 5,000 lumen. So why it says 200,000 and then down here, I would say probably more like 5,000 lumen and the specs. But again, how true are those? I don't know. They sent me this to try it out. Personally, I'm more of an O-light guy, but I do think this concept's pretty neat, and there are some things I like that they do. Some things I don't like too, but it didn't come with any packaging, no instructions, so this is just what I've noticed so far. I mean, it's a pretty big light compared to in my hand. It still fits good, so it's still, I mean, it's not a portable light in the sense of fitting it in your pocket, but if you know you're going out at night, it's still very easy to handle. And you get this percentage here, which also works for charging status as well. You do have to cycle, but if you hold it, it does shut off, but you have to hold it for quite a while, so it's almost quicker just to cycle it. And then you get this, I guess this would take 3 AAAs. I would imagine it would fit in this, but I'm not even going to try. Because if you've ever owned a flashlight, like a cheap parts store flashlight that uses 3 AAAs, these are terrible. The batteries just lose connection. I don't know if just they're not made well. And then you don't get near as much output with, AAAs that are just 1.5 volts each. And then you do get a Type C charging cable. It's actually A on this end, and I have a C. I hate this setup. That's all kind of products. If you're going to go Type C, I say go C on both ends and let the other person provide a C adapter if they don't have a C port. So I have a C port, but C to C didn't work. I had to use this. So I don't like that. It's kind of annoying. And then they also sent me this flashlight, which is a UV light, which you can kind of see. It's kind of neat. I actually have a cheap Hyper Tough one. It's like more of a pen light to use to try and find leaks with my cars. And this one's actually a good bit better. It has a much better spill. It's a lot wider. And then you do have some different modes. But this is actually pretty cool. I'm not sure if comes with this model or if they just threw it in and want me to review that one too. But again, here we go. And now this actually unscrews in 2 spots. You only need to take out one. But then it'll also... I tightened it pretty good because I really didn't want to keep doing this, but... Now, for what reason, I don't know if you got something down in there, but you do have that little rubber seal. And it is slightly lubricated. But I'm not planning on getting this wet, really, so I'm going to make that nice and tight. And then this also unscrews, but it's not really made to. You'll see why. There's really nothing to look at here, so that's probably not really supposed to come undone. But if you think you can get in there and change an LED or do something, it's there. That option's there if you'd need it, I guess. And then you can only go so tight because this is actually on a collar, unless you could grip it here and tighten it a little more. So this uses a 26650, 5,000 milliamp hour, allegedly at least. So this is supposed to be higher output and then a nice 5,000 milliamp hour capacity. I haven't used it that much. It did take a while to charge up. Usually when they take that long, it usually does mean they are more of a big boy capacity. Now this definitely isn't tactical. At least this one that came with the UV light would blend in a little bit. This kind of stands out. This already came installed on it, and it's kind of a really tight. It's not like two loops. You know, sometimes you run them through two. This is just one, so I'm not going to take it off, try to get back on. And I'm not a fan of this. This is supposed to be to crack a window open or something. You know, I mean, I don't really plan on keeping this in my car. I wish this was removable. If you could take this tail cap off and there was a screw on the other end and you could unscrew it and take it off, but it's fixed on there. It's really not that sharp unless you really push in. So just because of that rubber cover or sheath, it would probably, you know, push that one if you were really going up against something. So I don't really like that. It's safety, but one thing I do like, I really like lights that have a nice wide beam pattern, a huge flood, and it's adjustable. But even my O-lights, none of them are even this floody. So this is a cheaper light. And yeah, you have to cycle through them again. But this is the Warrior 3S. And you can see this one has a hot spot. And although you can kind of see, you know, there is some spill, you get a little bit of both, but most of it's right here, and you get that hot spot. I like, and that's one thing I'll say where they get this right. These are way more expensive lights. You get what you pay for, but you know, I don't see too many that have a beam pattern adjustment, and a lot of cheaper lights give you that. So that's an advantage that this Vastfire does have. So I can see if I can get this on camera. Now, one thing you probably can't see unless I adjust the exposure is I don't really like when you zoom in all the way, when you can see like the cob or the LED board or whatever they call that. I kind of wish it was a little bit more dispersed like that, which you can kind of manually do. But when you just have it like that, to me that looks cheaper. I'm not sure if more expensive lights mitigate that, or if they all do that, or maybe some just are designed to where they won't go out that whole way. That's just kind of a nitpick. I've seen that on a lot of adjustable beam pattern flashlights. But for what you get, you know, you can zoom in. If you don't like it, again, you can just back it off a little bit. I mean, if people are interested in this light, I can always take it outside and compare it to my O light out in the field or something. But to me, I mean, you can see I have it on full power here, and it's not like it's going through the battery like crazy. It's still at 100%. I think it said 4.5 hours of run time on high. So I'm hoping, you know, would it be at least 5 or 6, maybe on a lower one, because you got to go medium, low, and then strobe, and SOS. And you have to cycle them. So that's one thing where O-Light does a lot better, where it's just a memory function. And then you have to hold it to cycle those modes. And then this one has a tail cap switch. But a lot of flashlights now do use the button up here. So I think I'll leave it there. I mean, it's a decent, if you can get it at the right price. So again, this is saying it's a VA-F01 with that zoom feature, as they call it on there. I mean, I kind of think it's straightforward since it does come with that Type-C charger. So you get this Type-C input for charging. This is a Type-A. This is an output. I'm not sure what the specs are on it. But again, unless you absolutely are in a bind, I wouldn't be wasting the charge for your light to charge other devices unless your phone died and you need it to get, you know, GPS or call someone. Otherwise, I'd never use this as a charging, you know, power bank. But again, you can't complain when they give you that option. Now I'll just go ahead and That's all the seal you get with that, so hopefully that holds. And then you can kind of see here how that works. And then again, when you're actually, now this is actually zoomed out, this is flood, you can kind of see that, you know, the LED in the board. And then when you go out, that's actually what magnifies it and creates that. And then the charging on this also is Type-C. So I do like at least there's some continuity there. You could use the same charger, but that covers that as well. And I've also recently tried the Vastfire LED rechargeable work light. That one's pretty good. I'm using that for my storage space in the basement. That's pretty good, actually. I think maybe I charged it once, but it's been holding up really well. It has really good run time. So I'm happy with that. And, you know, I can't complain that I got to check these out. Again, if anyone's interested, I could do an outdoors video or something. But for the price, you can't expect the world out of it. It's not going to be what an Olight or a Phoenix is. But you keep in mind what you pay for. The fact that you do get a seemingly pretty close to capacity battery there. It is bright. I don't think it's 200,000, maybe 5,000. But you get a nice wide flood. You get a long beam pattern you can adjust. And you get some decent run time, and the thing works. Especially if you can get it on sale, if they, assuming they have more in stock and that comes up for sale again on there, I would say it's worth checking out at least. So hopefully that was helpful. It's a Vastfire. Thanks for watching, and you'll see me in the next one. Have a good one.